Did fans see tonight that they did not see in the Penn State duel?
5 more victories.
Okay. What do you believe led to them more?
Well, you're winning close matches, and here's the thing. Here's how I look at it. I gotta be careful what I say. This team, to go forward, we have to keep hammering home the things that we got to do to create separation. And really what it boils down to basically is scoring points. Specifically, it's front headlocks, it's being aggressive in positions, being confident to take risk and just let it fly, instead of not confident because I got to hold, I got to have a safety net. And in order to get into the ballpark of Penn State, you brought up Penn State, we have to do that. So the difference between tonight and the Penn State duel is these two teams are similar, I think, Oklahoma State and Iowa. If you look at it, that's just a quick observation. Penn State's in a different league. Not that we can't compete with them, but that we gotta hammer home the points that are gonna lead to points. And it's really that simple.
Was Grothus the best example of that tonight?
I think Grothus had an opportunity to beat a guy that beat him earlier in the year down in Missouri in an open tournament, and we turned the tables on him. Grothus did some good things tonight to control that match. The back points, of course, is maybe the difference, but when you're in good position, those things happen. And there were a couple other things too. We got to ride in better positions. That's another one of those points of emphasis that I'm talking about. But for the most part, he was better there. So you're not giving away points, and the cradle. He was aware of the cradle. The guy has a hard and heavy cradle that he slaps on you, very physical. So those are positive things. But I walked off the shake hands line, and Leroy Smith Sr. is standing there, and he says, "I seen more takedowns in one match than I seen in the whole meet tonight." And you know what? He's right. And so we have to create separation. And he wasn't knocking us, he wasn't knocking, them. He was saying it was a meet that was tight, it didn't need to be. That being said, big match for Nick Moore, good job. Good job, 1 for 1 with deep penetrating shots. And those are the types of things that, St. John wrestles a reversal very smart and then rides him out. That's huge when the guy's got a bunch of riding time on you. So there's some good things where you're winning those close matches, but I don't know if it has to be that close.
Tom, what can 149 winning a string of matches like this do for team morale?
I think that you have another cylinder, so to speak, in your lineup that's reliable, and Mike Kelly is reliable as well. He's a hard-nosed competitor, but when you start to learn to win, I think there's a lot to that. And when you're winning, you're winning. And it's pretty much that simple. It's not about just coming close, and it's about putting the emphasis on getting the W, and then starting to get the W the right way and the widen the gap way.
When did the change occur with Brody?
Putting together a string of matches at Midlands and continuing to probably believe in himself. I would say there's belief in himself, and there's some good things happen because of that. When you can come back from a little bit of adversity and then do some good things, that's a good way to put yourself in position to say, hey, I can do this. And he's done that.
What did that match at 49 do for the team, going up 9-3 rather than possibly a tie?
Maybe that's what your question was, and I mean, you got another cylinder. You won that weight class. That's a 6-point swing if they win it. So, what does that do? I mean, it's a victory for them. I mean, we sent St. John out there, we still got a battle. We talk about it all the time. During your match, bad things happen. You got to be able to fight. And if you're in a hole where everything's going against the team, you got to come out and you got to right the wrong. You got to turn it our way. So, fierce, ferocious competitors don't worry about that stuff. But, for sure, there's probably more of a party atmosphere in the crowd, being 9-3 instead of 6-6, maybe. Crowd carries momentum, so on and so forth. But really, even though those things matter, they shouldn't matter. They shouldn't matter.
Nick said he was ready. Did you get the feel this week that the team was clear-headed, ready to go for this weekend?
Here's the thing, I want to keep driving home the point that we got to work on and emphasize these positions where we can really start to widen the gap and put ourselves in the category of what I'm talking about. So yes, it was better. Did I feel it? You know what? You believe in your guys all the time. You feel good about it when you're going into it. So, you know, obviously after Penn State there was some dialogue and it's been addressed. So go out and do it, but take the big step. And sometimes to take the big step, it's got to be a lot of little baby steps.
Anything else?
Can you just
One
talk-
question. How come Brooks and not Lofthouse at 184? The match was still in limbo.
Well, you see Brooks is a super competitor and he's very good. We have complete confidence in either one of those guys. And Lofthouse last week at Michigan State, he got dinged up a little bit. So I think Lofthouse could have gone. It's a decision that, you know, we went with, and it was the right decision as well.
One more from Mike.
Eric, you had talked about a dialogue after the Penn State duel. Could you tell a little more specific what that dialogue was? Was it ultimatums? Was it?
No. It's not like an ultimatum, like, you know, do it our way or it's a highway. It's a, here's what it looks like. Do you want to wrestle that way? Do you want your hand raised? Okay, then this is what you got to change. Does it look good to you? I mean, you're sitting there watching video, and when a guy's dropping down and your legs on the edge of the mat, when a guy's riding, you get your feet, and there's no hustle, and he drops down to an ankle and picks you up. There's no hustle, there's no attitude, there's no fight. And we left points out there, and there were tough matches where we needed to be up, and it looked like we were, you know, half asleep. So, you know, I don't think it was like a quick snap finger conversation turnaround. You know, there's a lot of work to be done with this team to get us in the category that we need to be in.
Thank you, everybody.